As the great Aaron Rodgers would say, relax. Hey, welcome back to the Hype Esquire show. Look, as far as the Mueller Report goes, we really are looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, Mueller's done and the results are in. The bad, Trump's newly appointed butt boy Bill Barr apparently has falsely summarized the report to the public. And the ugly, Trump actually thinks this gives him the proverbial leg to stand on, allowing him to keep running around claiming,
so it's complete exoneration, no collusion, no obstruction.
Now, as heartbreaking as all of that may seem, relax. Let's put this in its proper perspective. Regardless of what is actually in the Mueller report, with every leak and squeal that we've heard from out of the Trump administration past or present since Mueller started raining indictments, was there really anything the report could have told us that we didn't already know? I don't think so. We know he was colluding with Russia to interfere with the election.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
We know he knew about the meeting at Trump Tower.
And I recall Don Jr. leaning over to his father and speaking in a low voice, which I could clearly hear, and saying, the meeting is all set. And I remember Mr. Trump saying, okay, good, let me know.
And we most certainly know he obstructed justice.
Well, President Trump is now acknowledging that the investigation into Russia ties with his campaign, an investigation that the FBI was overseeing, was on his mind when he fired James Comey.
When I decided to just do it, I said to myself, I said, you know, this Russia thing with Trump and Russia is a made-up story. It's an excuse by the Democrats for having lost an election.
So as far as I'm concerned, the only real piece of knowledge that we were supposed to ascertain from the Mueller report is whether or not Mueller and or Barr's integrity could be brought into question. And I believe we got that answer. From what we know as of now, Mueller was as advertised. Barr, not so much. Even though Mueller passed on making a final decision whether or not to indict, the fact that the law is kind of sketchy when it comes to indicting a sitting president makes it understandable as to why he may want to leave that decision up to Congress. But for Barr to try to cut the legs out from underneath Congress, falsely summarize all the foul and dirty Trump did, toss some sprinkles over it, then call it a cupcake, shows that he's exactly what the Democrats in Congress thought he was, Trump's butt boy. I'm convinced he doesn't have an ounce of integrity. Now, as far as collusion, I pretty much knew the Mueller report would stop short of that when Michael Cohen gave up the whole kit and caboodle, yet still said this.
Questions have been raised about whether I know of direct evidence that Mr. Trump or his campaign colluded with Russia. I do not.
But again, relax. Because while Cohen said that, he also said this.
Unfortunately, this topic is actually something that's being investigated right now by the Southern District of New York, and I've been asked by them not to discuss and not to talk about these issues.
Fair enough. Is there any other wrongdoing or illegal act that you are aware of regarding Donald Trump that we haven't yet discussed today?
Yes, and again, those are part of the investigation that's currently being looked at.
So while Trump may think that he has safely circumvented himself into a place where he is free from federal prosecution for all of his crimes, there's not a doubt in my mind that the Southern District of New York will indict the living out of Trump and his entire family of misfits. Because from what I've heard, the prosecutors from the Southern District of New York, and you know how that makes me feel.
You make me feel so good. You know you make me feel so good. You know you make me feel so good.
That's what we do.
So that's why I personally can relax. Well, that and the fact that somebody somewhere might actually point Bill Barr in the direction to the nearest flight of stairs, you know, so he can fall down them. Hey, thanks again for watching. Please do not forget to comment, like, subscribe, follow, all the above. Whatever you do, just do something, and I'll be back sooner than you think. I'm sure of it.